Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your weekly reading. This is going to be for the week of the 7th going to... This card is already facing out. I'm sure you had this last week. That's weird. From the 7th to the 13th of August. So let's have a little look together and see what is going on for you guys this week. Oh, a lot of like zebras are coming through for you. I don't know if that has some significance or if you can look that up and see what the spirit animal is of that. Because the first two cards is actually okay. This makes a bit of sense then. A lot of self-discovery coming through. I feel like if you're going through a little bit of a change of your path or anticipating that, then I can definitely see that there's going to be a bit of uncomfortable energy coming for you. Maybe you're already experiencing that. But what's happening is sometimes this can feel like the end of the world, but what's really happening is that you're being... things in your life and maybe from within are being removed and making space for you to discover who you truly are. So external influences are going to be removed from your world. Things that you thought were who you are might start to, kind of crumble away. All right, this can be sometimes challenging if we have a lot of ego, which is nothing wrong with that. I feel like we are uneducated as a society to deal with that. Ego is not all bad. But it can make us make very difficult decisions or cause some resistance to some things that are inevitable or are actually beneficial to you. Because if you feel like you're losing things or if you're losing control of things, this is going to help you at the end of the day. But at some time we may be like, oh, I'm losing everything I have. But in the reality, you're actually finding out who you really are. As you can see, a change in a wind, path is changing. Maybe this has happened already, Sagittarius. Maybe something that you are anticipating or might be currently going through is that your path is changing. That's what a change in a wind is talking about. Then we have chaos and conflict afterwards, which can bring about chaos and conflict in your external. Maybe you're falling out with people. Maybe people that you once liked, you no longer like. Maybe you're seeing through people's facades and you're actually understanding a little bit differently. You guys are going through a bit of an awakening with that. I would say your third eye is actually becoming more unlocked, and what's happening is you're understanding yourself on that deeper level. Now this like black and white energy like you had up, I always say that this is almost like a shield that we have. Really sorry if you can hear that in the background, by the way. I have no control over it, which is why I'm speaking into the mic a bit louder, hoping I can drown out the wind sounds. But what you can see here is almost like an external shell of yours is crumbling away. And I always say that this is kind of like a black and white way of thinking. So, I'm either this or I'm that, and life is either this or it's that. And you're actually understanding your true colors underneath. Old conditioning is being removed. But it does cause chaos and conflict because you actually start to question your own belief system. Why do I believe that? Is that even true? The people in your life, like, is this really my best friend, or is this really someone I want to be around? Is this really the choice of work that I want to be doing? There's a lot of questions that come up here. You are having some spiritual awakening within yourself. Then, and I'm going to clarify all these cards and pull you out the tarot card, but I just got run away with the messages here. We have truth be told, which is a timeline shift. So it feels like I feel like you're awakening to the path that you're going down and going, actually, do I want to go this way? Is this really who I am? Do I really want the things that come of the path that I'm walking down? Or do I want something different? And if you decide that you want something different, which I think for the majority of you, you will, the truth be told is always my portal opening for you. The truth be told is almost like a shift in your reality if you choose to. Spirit is opening this little window to you, saying that things can be completely different if you want them to be. It's up to you. So the truth be told is the truth being told. I think there's a lot of awakenings coming up for you, and then you have flexible. So after this kind of change, I do believe the flexible card is saying that things will continue to change just because we jump through this portal and we make this conscious decision to completely change your life, which is a good thing, by the way. Your external is giving me this wind energy, which is convenient with the outside sounds, but more of a sense of a gust of wind for me when I pick that up in a reading is change. Like, things in your external surroundings are really out of your control, changing without you maybe even initiating that. And what you have to do is learn how to bend with the wind. Learn to understand that what's out of your control is out of your control, but there is one thing that is in your control, and it's what you're holding on to, whether it's a dream, a goal, a vision. Hold on to it and be flexible about how you get to where you want to go, meaning that you're probably going to be launching yourself into some uncharted territory, things you've never done before. And of course, that means you're going to be having to learn a lot and witness a lot and observe a lot rather than take a lot of action, if that makes sense. Let's pull you out some tarot and let's see what the overall energy is for you. As I said before, like the message around ego here is kind of just saying to let go of resistance and to allow the things to transpire the way that they need to, because it is going to be in your greatest benefit. Because of this energy, you are on a path of self-discovery. This chaos and conflict is helping you to understand something about yourself. And this flexible card, there is a message here saying that if you are stuck and rigid on this is how I want it to go, not only are you translating to the universe that you don't trust, don't trust the path it wants you to go down, but also when the wind does blow inevitably and things do change, like you're manifesting, for the outcome at least, you're just going to come crashing down. So if we learn to bend with the wind, we're still rooted in what it is that we desire and what we want and who we are. But the things around us that don't influence that can change. You know what I'm saying? All right, an overall energy, please. Guys, what is that? Why is this your first card, Sagittarius? Have you been cheated, lied to? This is a card of deception. Sometimes this can be self-sabotage, okay? Sometimes this can be, covering your own tracks. Treading on eggshells can sometimes be the case, but this can just mean that your current energy at the moment is the fact that you feel quite bruised around the people that you're discovering may not be the right people for you. Let's just clarify where this is coming from. The Eight of Swords. You have the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck, and you also have the Ten of Swords, which is about secrets and endings. So, Sagittarius, you may have been in a situation where somebody kind of embedded fear into you, is what I'm feeling like, for their own. This can sometimes be manipulation, when somebody is trying to keep you in this little space just for themselves and they trick you. I'm kind of getting a bit of like Tangled vibes. If anybody's seen the movie, it's almost a case of like the outside is scary, like you cannot go outside. I will protect you in here. Like it's almost like somebody's feeding you a false reality, or someone in the past maybe fed you a false reality of what the outside world looks like, what you're capable of achieving, just for their own benefit, just so that they can keep you stuck in one place for themselves, or because they didn't want you to succeed. I do get a little bit of jealousy with that, a little bit of secrecy, a little bit of lies, but it does feel like this is a time where you're kind of uncovering what that is. Maybe it's old self-belief. Maybe it's not about other people. Maybe it's something that we put into ourselves, okay? So this Eight of Swords is a card of anxiety, of fears. When the reality is, if you take the blindfold off, you'll realize that you're not stuck, that there is a way around it. There's always a solution. Sometimes you might feel quite trapped because of maybe certain people that broke your trust, so now you do get yourself in a little bit of up in your head, trying to work out, how to remove yourself from a situation, or, I don't know, sometimes this can come up when you're talking yourself out of things that could be good for you, which we're seeing here, out of fear. We have the Ace of Pentacles, which is about a new stable beginning. So you also have the Ace of Cups. Sorry for bumping everything there, but you have new beginnings. You have new love, newfound stability, maybe money. But there are Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords here. Just be careful of who you trust with good news. Two of Wands. So thinking about your future, I would really suggest that instead of looking at the past and what that may have brought on to you, is to remove that baggage. And maybe this is what the change in the wind is speaking about, like that hard shell that life has put around you, Sagittarius, is now being removed by force by the universe. And it may cause a bit of chaos and conflict. It may be in very unconventional, inconvenient ways, but it's trying to push you into a new timeline. Because if you keep going this way with what life has thrown at you, clearly I'm speaking to people who've been through a lot of difficulty. You've built almost an armor up against the world, and you've kind of maybe put yourself in that corner because you were conditioned to do so. You know, I do feel like this is quite heavy. There's a lot of fear for whoever I'm speaking to. So the universe is like, nope, this is not what I made you for, Sagittarius. You are gonna have to release all of this stuff, figure out who you truly are, figure out all the lies that people have said to you, and figure out that then they are truly just lies. It was not the truth. And to actually go out and see what the world really is about. So you have these new beginnings, and you also have this Two of Wands, which is saying that the world is your oyster. It's about outgrowing a situation and expanding what it is that you have learned in life or have in life, and moving on to newer chapters. Maybe you guys have a fear of like growing, expanding, evolving, fear of the unknown, fear of success, fear of failure, or all of the above. You know, it's almost like there's a lot of fear I'm picking up in your reading. Yeah, Two of Swords, the fear of making a decision. So the Two of Swords is a very big decision to make, and it is kind of similar to the truth be told here. Is this decision that you make is going to be very powerful, and it's to do with some sort of truth. You have the Judgment here too. So yeah, it's kind of like releasing the old and beginning a new chapter. The Judgment is ultimate truth. It's taking that blindfold off and seeing things for how it really is. And this is this window of truth for you from the universe here, saying this is the reality that you can still have. Even though you feel like you may have reached a point where I can't do that anymore, or who am I to go down that path? Like, my time is done with that. No, your success is still there. What it does take, though, is strength to actually open up this new cycle. You can see that Nine of Swords lingering there in the background. So even though it's something new, it does not mean that your anxieties are going to be completely gone away. It's just you're working through it. And it takes courage to work through that, rather than to just listen to those thoughts. Okay, I'm not going to do that because it's way too scary, way outside my comfort zone. It's like the universe is trying to push you away from that. So you're no longer cheating yourself, talking yourself out of situations, or, you know, they're pushing you into something greater, which is amazing. All right, anything else for Sagittarius? You have the King of Swords, air sign energy. Okay, you guys could be dealing with some abandonment wounds, either from maybe a masculine energy, father figure, or maybe this King of Pentacles, so earth sign. Maybe you guys are lacking in funds. Maybe you feel quite left out in the cold when it comes down to money. I do see that changing, and maybe this is something that they're asking you to realize that you can change. You have the King of Swords too. It's about making logical decisions. Also, I feel like these are maybe two people who left you out in the cold, people who you're now leaving out in the cold too. All right, air sign and earth. I'm going to pull some more for you. We have your card here, Sagittarius. We have Temperance, patience, all right, balancing, putting one foot in those emotions and one foot grounded here. I feel like this could be the combination that is actually going to help you come out of a situation, is to step into this masculine King of Swords energy, okay, making logical decisions, understanding when to put your emotions to the side. You can see like the throne that he's on is very, not emotional, but very kind of, it's got butterflies, it's got lovers on the back, as you can see there. There is some emotion behind him, but he's very logical in his decisions and does not let that influence his decisions. So I kind of feel like you're no longer putting your emotions on the forefront in terms of making decisions, and at least that's the advice for you. It's about being logical. If you really want to get out of a situation, then it's about finding those, finding the mindset that you may need to get into it. Also finding the help, being able to accept help from other people to be able to get it too. Some of you might be reaching out to somebody for finances, or you could be the person that's being reached out to help somebody else with finances. Anything else? Oh, it's so many. I kind of feel like there is a little bit of the first word that's coming through is a bit of jealousy. You have the 5 of Cups here, which is disappointment. So I feel like you guys have been very disappointed with maybe how some outcomes have come through, but I kind of feel like you need to hold yourself to a higher standard. So you're a lot more skilled than you think, a lot more valuable than you think. King of Wands. We have Page of Wands, 5 of Wands. So some sort of opportunity may be, of high demand. Maybe this is something you're talking yourself out of. I do believe you stand out a lot more. Also, speak directly to the person you need to speak to. Don't go through third parties. Like, that's something that I really want to pick up here, because I feel like something could get lost in translation. Some of you, if you have applied for something and it kind of like you didn't hear back from it, I kind of feel like it's not because of the person that you wanted the opportunity from, but it's almost like what was in the middle. Some of you could be having some misunderstandings with children or with some people around you, but it's a misunderstanding. Something's getting lost in translation is what I'm hearing. Maybe some of you need to check your emails. Maybe you've already got an opportunity in there and not seeing it. I don't know why your reading is like this. Page of Swords. I do see that's where the jealousy is coming from. Somebody could be saying something to you out of jealousy. Some of you need to have a very harsh conversation with somebody and they may not listen at first. I think this person's coming from a triggered place. Queen of Swords, though, is very similar to Page of Wands, King of Wands. It's like you speaking to somebody who's coming up as a child. It could be there's some pain around it. All right. Because it feels like somebody's just not listening. Just say your piece and move forward. I don't know if this is somebody who's just showing up as younger than you, or it's just somebody who's acting immaturely. And for some of you, it might be very painful to do, but I feel like it is just walking away from somebody so you can be at peace, because somebody here isn't just not going to listen. So maybe that's what you're letting go of. Maybe that's what needs to change. You were walking in a direction of maybe reconciling with something, and now you're understanding that they've not changed. All right, one last card. The sun really tried to come out there. I love that, but it didn't jump out fully. But that would have been amazing, wouldn't it? For Sagittarius, you got Justice. So this could be dealing with legal situations, but this is about bringing a balance into your life. So because this is your last card coming out, I really feel like this is an outcome. You will find justice, okay? It may not be in a comic way that you want it to be. Accept what is outside your control. All you can control is your life, where you're moving forward, and the decisions that you make. But justice is almost like rest assured. What needs to be balanced will be balanced, and it doesn't need to be by you, but it's by the universal justice system. Things will be brought into balance. Libra energy. Okay, let's get you a key word. I always forget to pull these out. For Sagittarius, you've changed. Well, that was a big key theme for you. This says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. So there we go. That is your key word of the week. So we kind of picked that up already. Your reading is a bit unclear. I'm not going to lie. I'm not exactly sure. I feel like this week is full of stuff basically, but ultimately things are changing, and it could just be a lot of epiphanies happening for you guys as bringing that to light. So we have Desk here. Pay attention to your work. All right, we then have Ink Pot. Problems to be resolved, maybe in the workplace, maybe not. You do have Eye, psychic ability. Trust your intuition. That came with Broken Ring, parting of the ways in either romance or business. And we have Casket here. Okay, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. So maybe that's where the change is coming from. Maybe you are just kind of calling it quits in a situation for some of you, okay? Now, one thing I want to say with this flexible card, like I do want to say to you, it may not feel like it, but things are going to get good. Things will balance themselves out. Like they say in the justice card, like justice will be served. In the moment, you may not see it, but for some reason, my screen just decided to. Hello? I wonder what impact that made on the video just there. Sorry about that. What was I saying? Yeah, you're going to be finding out a lot about yourself with this. You are removing a layer of yourself that does not serve you anymore, including maybe external people. But the flexible card is saying, like, on this new path and this new venture, don't worry. It may look like you don't know where you are, don't know where you're going, but just remain true to that one goal, that one vision, or maybe just part of yourself. This eggs in a reading, as you guys know if you know me already, that they represent new beginnings. They represent things being brought into your world. So that's inevitable moving forward. Your external may not be very predictable, but what is predictable is that something good is going to be happening for you. What you need to do, Sag, is to stay flexible, bend with the wind where it needs to. Again, lessening of the ego is going to be very important for that, because our ego wants us to be, this is how it is, this is how it's going, I know, I want it this way, and that's that. My way or the highway. And the universe doesn't do very well with that, because sometimes they'll give you what you want and then you'll realize you don't actually want that. Other times we can only see a spectrum of what can happen. The universe sees it all, so they know the best outcome for us. So relying on something other than yourself not only makes things a lot easier for you, but it also leaves it open for the universe to do whatever is best, and the best things happen that we could have never imagined. So be patient with it. It's one thing I want to say. It's hard for a Sagittarius to do that. But whatever is falling apart now has a reason for it. It may not justify what's happening, absolutely not, and I understand that. But just be patient with the journey, because I think by the end of it, you'll really see and understand why it needed to happen, and the change of your life. Like I said, like the portal, timeline shift, different life, different outcome in life than the journey you were going on. So that's sometimes why they push us on a different path. So yeah, I love you guys. Wish you all the best. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe. And if you resonated, then let me know. If you like the background, then let me know. But aside from that, I love you, and I will see you guys next time. All right.